I liked it a lot. And the PA showed me a lot. And for me, it was my first time actually kind of child. I mean, I went to the doctor, but it was my first time actually being the setting for a long period of time. And it kind of really got me interested in medicine to see what I was going to get myself into later in life.
What were you kind of doing in there, like day to day?
So it started off like the only thing they really taught us was just like make beds between transitions because in the ED, there's a high turnover of patients and you need to like turn over the rooms pretty quickly. So I started off just doing that, and then with time, because I was there and the nurses realized that I was not just like on my phone texting like other volunteers, they actually kind of cared. They started like kind of teaching me things, offering me like to help out a little bit more so like stocking the cabinets to make sure that everything was good in that front. And then they like one nurse even showed me how to like set up the EKG leads on a patient. So eventually started from being more like I'm a volunteer, like a house staff worker, and then eventually I assumed almost the role of like a charge nurse with regards to just stocking things. I mean, obviously I didn't assess any patients or anything like that, but
But you definitely had like these responsibilities that
yeah,
like were yours.
yeah. I mean, I had to like step up to do that. I mean, you have to show interest, and then you can assume more responsibility if you're willing to do that. Otherwise, I would have just had to change beds the whole time.
Were there a lot of other volunteers in your unit?
Um, at any one time, there's only two volunteers maximum. The emergency department only had 14 beds, so if you had any more than that, it'd kind of get a little bit crowded.
Hmm.
But yeah, two there, and I mean the rest of the hospital had like a bunch more volunteers. I'm not sure exactly how many, but I just had me and another person tops at any one time.
What what do you think is like the best thing that you got out of the experience? Can you hear me?
I mean, for me, like I kind of said before, yeah. Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, no. Before, I was just kind of saying, like, it was really good to kind of see the hospital setting, like that's to see what goes on a day-to-day basis, to see like transitions between nurses, to hear about patients. That was really good. The other thing is, I didn't mention it, I forgot to. On a day-to-day basis, I was also allowed to interact with patients. I could go around from room to room and just talk with the patients. I mean, usually the conversation would start with like, "Would you like a warm blanket? You look cold." You know, I mean, it's pretty like mundane, but then sometimes some of the patients and their families would just start talking to you. There's actually this really nice old lady and another guy who, for whatever reason, they took a liking to me, and they're like, "You're going to make it someday in medicine. You're going to do a great job. I love your smile, by the way." And they ended up like writing me a letter after they got out of the hospital, just because they appreciated it. Just like me, just sit down talking with them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool.
Sounds like you had like a really great experience here.
Yep.
Um, and do you feel like it was kind of like not tailored to you, but it was like, do you think it was like a generic experience, or was it kind of like go in, assess the situation, and kind of add to it what you want?
I think, like I said, it kind of started out probably more generic, like here, change the sheets, woo, that's awesome. But then, like I said, if you want to, you can make it your own. So, like I said, I just spent time with the nurses, and for me, what I think was really helpful is instead of just doing like 2 hour shifts, I actually did like 15-hour shifts. I stayed there for like half a day or whatnot, so I really got to see what was going on, and with the nurses being there and I guess the other staff seeing me there for such a long period of time, um, that's when they kind of started offering to teach me things because they saw that A, like I was dedicated to it, and B, that I actually was interested in learning more. Like I mean, at that time I was in college, so interested in sciences and kind of knew a little bit what was going on. But yeah, I made it my own by kind of just showing that I was interested, and then everyone else who was there really